Hey yo, what's up and welcome. I'm the one and only West Coast King, and welcome back to Major League 90, where we are talking Major League Soccer, and more specifically today, we're talking transfer rumors. Oh yes, isn't it fun to live in the world of fantasy, where we can talk about who may be going where really less than 10% of these rumors are actually true, and even fewer of those actually get completed. But nonetheless, it is fun to hypothesize, isn't it? So let's dive into some of the transfer rumors that are circulating around the MLS. So let's get this thing started with a rumor that's been going around for quite some time, and it seems to be heating up once again, and that is Fernando Torres to Chicago. This one started months and months and months ago, and it's been going around for the second half of his season at Atletico, which just wrapped up. He scored 2 goals in his final match, which was really cool to see. And now it seems like his transfer to Chicago is in its final stages. At least that's what's being reported. We'll have to actually see if that's true. But let's actually talk about, does he fit in that Chicago team? I'll be honest, would I love to see Fernando Torres in MLS? Absolutely. Would I like to see him at Chicago? Not really. I mean, I'd rather see him at a contending team where he has a chance to help someone win something. That's not Chicago this season. I'm sorry, it just isn't. They are not as good as they were last year. They were a bit of a surprise last year. They're not surprised at anyone this year. There's not a very good team. What Chicago lacks is athleticism and consistency, and I don't think Fernando Torres really gives them that, at least not in a position that they need it. The one position that I'd say is on lockdown for them is striker, with Nemanja Nikolic, who's coming off of, I think, a Golden Boot winning season last year, and he's doing quite well this year. They don't need a striker, at least not in the formation that they play, which is typically a 4-3-3. Now, unless that they're planning on switching everything up, which might not be the worst idea, considering they have the second worst defense in the Eastern Conference, if they go with more like a 4-2-2, that shores up the midfield, it allows Nikolic and Torres to play up top together. Will that work? I don't know, but it could solve a couple of problems for them. So if that is the case, then go for it, bring in Fernando Torres, and I hope he does very, very well there. So moving on to what has to be the most high-profile player rumored to be joining MLS, and maybe the one that's most likely to happen at this point, and that is Wayne Rooney to DC United. It is reported that he is stateside right now in the nation's capital. He's meeting with team executives. He's undergoing a physical. He's touring their brand new stadium that they just built and just opened up. It's looking good for him, and it's looking good for DC United. Now, does he fit in that team? That's really the question. Can he really help this DC United team? And I think that he can. I actually do think this could be a bit of a game changer for a team that currently sits in last place in the Eastern Conference, but they are a very, very talented team. At least offensively, they've got the likes of Assad, Acosta, Areola, Steiber. What they're missing is a striker, to be honest. Darren Maddox, I don't think is the answer there for them. That begs the question, is Wayne Rooney a striker at this point in his career? In the Premier League, I would say absolutely not. In MLS, I think he has at least the raw talent and ability to play in that position and be an upgrade for them. So I think that this is going to be a good match. Honestly, I don't really know where he fits into that team. I don't know if they play him at striker or not. If they don't, I have no idea how that lineup is going to look from now on. But I'm just excited to see Wayne Rooney in MLS if this one does get completed. So moving on now to a rumor that kind of popped up out of nowhere yesterday, and when I saw it, it actually scared the life out of me, because this is one I hope really does not happen, and that would be Toronto sending, in my opinion, the face of the league in Sebastian Giovinco to Tigres in Mexico, and then Tigres would send Enner Valencia to Toronto. And where do I begin with how much I don't like this move at all? Enner Valencia is not an upgrade. I mean, just from a footballing standpoint, Toronto loses a lot by losing Sebastian Giovinco. I know that Valencia is 3 years younger. Valencia is 28, Giovinco is 31. But we don't know how that would even work in Toronto, especially with a healthy Josie Altidore. How does Enner Valencia even fit into that team? I don't know, and I'm almost certain it's not going to be an upgrade for them. And 2, like I said, he's kind of the face of the franchise, in my opinion, or not just the face of the franchise, the face of the league for the last 3 seasons, and in my opinion has been the best player in the league for the last 3 years. I would really think multiple times, not just think twice, I would think 4, 5, 6, 100 million times before losing that and just deciding to dump that out of my team. Now, the only reason I think that this is getting any kind of coverage is because the contract extension and negotiations for Giovinco at Toronto haven't been going that well, but he's been there. I think he wants to stay there. I mean, he turned down a move to Barcelona to stay at Toronto. I don't think he moves to Tigres at this point. He wants to be there. Toronto wants him there. I think they iron out that contract extension and he stays put. The next rumor I want to touch on here is the potential homecoming for a U.S. international, and that would be Geoff Cameron. He does have a clause in his contract at Stoke City where if they get relegated, they do have to sell him if they get an offer in that is sufficient, and they have been relegated from the Premier League. So anybody could really get Geoff Cameron at this point, but there would be a transfer fee that would probably need to be paid in order to get him. On top of that, Geoff Cameron would be probably a designated player. I'm not sure if he's really worth designated player money, if I'm honest. Although there are plenty of teams that could use defensive help and have a designated player spot available to spend. So it might not be the worst idea to go after someone like Geoff Cameron for an MLS team, like I said, that's in the situation that they have a designated player spot to burn and need defensive help. I'm thinking maybe someone like a Minnesota. They seem to be all of a sudden throwing money around. Why not Minnesota? And maybe even the more realistic one would be DC United. I mean, they get Wayne Rooney, they get Geoff Cameron, they kind of got a little Premier League flavor thing going on there. It could happen, but the reason I say DC United might be more probable is because Geoff Cameron is a U.S. international player, which means he has to go through the MLS allocation process, and sitting atop the allocation order would be the LA Galaxy. How? I'm not really sure. Yeah, the same LA Galaxy that has Zlatan, both Dos Santos brothers, Alessandrini. I mean, they've got a ton of stars. I don't know how they also have the top spot in the allocation order, but I also don't think the LA Galaxy go for Geoff Cameron. Second in the order, though, is DC United, so I'm thinking it would be up to them whether or not they want him or not. And the last rumor we're going to talk about is actually not really a rumor anymore, at least not from what I've heard. Apparently, this is a confirmed transfer. And that is Tyler Adams of New York Red Bulls is going to be going to Leipzig in Germany. He'll remain with New York for the rest of this season and then move over to the German club after the season is over. Is that a good move for Tyler Adams? I guess it is. I don't know if he's really necessarily ready for European football at this point, especially for a team that's fairly competitive in Germany. That's a team that's played Champions League football recently. I don't know if Tyler Adams has really a spot there or if he's going to be kicked around some lower division teams for a little while until maybe he develops and is ready. I was really impressed with the improvement he's shown this season with New York. He seems like one of the rising stars of the league, so I'm a little sad to see him go. I would have liked to have seen him stay for maybe a season or two more and continue that good development that he was getting. But I wish him all the best. I hope he does well. I guess in the end, it's probably good for the U.S. national team for another player to go over there and get European experience. But it's a bit of a hit for the league. But, you know, I'm a little bit disappointed, but I'm happy for Tyler Adams. So that is where we're going to wrap this one up for today. I think I hit on all of the big rumors that are circulating right now, at least the more plausible ones. I mean, I know there was one of Falcao being a target for Atlanta United, but I just don't see that one happening. I mean, why? How does he at all fit in that team? I just don't see that one. That's just, for me, that one's just not going to happen. But other than that, I think I got the big ones. So let me know what you think of these rumors down in the comments below. Are these players a good fit for those teams or not? And if I missed any of the other big rumors, also let me know down in the comments below. So that is it for this one. If you did enjoy it, make sure to let me know by leaving a like below. Subscribe if you're new, and I will see you when we come back for some more Major League 90. See ya.